What is up, my gays? Screwy here. I'm gonna be rambling today because I found out something kind of cool. Today we're going to be talking about Remy LeBeau, or otherwise known as Gambit from the X-Men comics. So, Remy LeBeau, handsome devil, Cajun, flirty as hell, beautiful man, chiseled, stubble, thief. Everybody, well, not everybody, but most people know him. Most people, when you hear the name Remy LeBeau, what do you think of? You think of the accent, the stubble, or do you think of his eyes? Because I usually think of his eyes. Just that beautiful crimson contrasted by black sclera. And from a scientific standpoint, that was interesting to me when I first started, actually getting into the comics. Because I've never really been into the comics, but I knew they existed. So, started getting into the comics and wanted to learn more about this. I went to his wiki, read up on him, and somewhere in there it mentions that he is sensitive to light. That his eyes are sensitive to light. And I was like, well, why would that be? It might make sense from, a sclera standpoint, because if your sclera is black, like his are, because his are, pitch black. But if your sclera is black, wouldn't it just absorb light instead of reflecting it, like normal eyes would do? Because white is reflective of light, for the most part. I mean, everything absorbs, a little bit of light, but that's a different conversation. But a black sclera would just absorb it, right? So, I went and I looked up some stuff about black sclera, and all I got was that it's a symptom of disease, and I was like, okay, alright, calm down. Remy was born with this. I think he's fine. He's lived for 32 years with this. So, I went and I was like, alright, so if it's not that, then what causes sensitivity to light? So I went and I looked it up, and I got a couple different things. I got, photophobia, which is, a hypersensitivity to light. And also a phobia. Who'd have guessed? But I came across something interesting, which makes a lot of sense to me, at least. And that is albinism. Don't know if I've pronounced that right. Feel free to shout at me. But when I read up on it, it makes a lot of sense. And bear with me here, because, I mean, I knew a little bit about albinism. I knew that it occurred in some animals where their fur would be completely white and they would have red eyes, like in rats. That's not how it works with humans. First off, we're not covered with fur. Or at least, not thick fur. Secondly, we can apparently sort of get past that part of albinism. For some people with albinism, they are always pale and always have light hair and just those reddish eyes. But for some, they can get a tan, they can get freckles, they can have darker hair. It said that their hair can range from very light, almost white, to brown. And Remy has very brown hair, very chestnut, suave brown. So I looked more into it, and I found out why people with albinism have those red eyes, and why they're sensitive to light. Turns out that people with albinism who have those eyes, the irises are translucent. So even if they had color, you wouldn't really see it, because what you would see is the light reflecting off the back of your eye. It would reflect off the back, the inside of their eye, which is red, and reflect back into your vision. So you would see their eyes as red, because their irises basically don't exist. They're not there to block light from getting to the inside of the eye. Well, they're there, but they're just sort of incapable of doing their job. So I was thinking, wow, Remy's eyes must be so translucent. Like, his eyes have always been such a bright, vivid fucking red. So I was thinking, what if his irises are basically just non-existent? Like, they're there, sure. Like, the film and the bits are all there, but there's like nothing protecting the inside of his eye from light, which would cause extreme light sensitivity and would also cause his eyes to look red to everyone. The black sclera still can't figure that one out scientifically. Probably just like, ooh, mutation. It's like how Kurt is blue. Whatever, it's there. It's a thing. Unfortunately, it means that we can't really understand how it affects him, other than the theory of light reflecting versus light absorbing. But I still think albinism makes a lot of sense for Remy. But the thing is, people with light sensitivity can hardly do anything. They have to have darkness. Otherwise, they could have, like, blinding migraines, nausea, vomiting, seizures, convulsions, and just, like, how do you live like that for 32 years, Remy? How? Share your secrets. And the other thing is that people with light sensitivity get fucked over by, like, everything. Because they can't go outside. They can't even go outside at night because, like, street lamps are a thing that are everywhere. So unless you live in the countryside where there's absolutely fuck all, you're gonna be screwed. So, I know that a good solution might be to get a pair of shades, but the issue with that is that most pairs of shades are only made for fashion purposes, and they don't actually block out sunlight very well. I think I only have, like, 2 pairs of sunglasses that actually do a good job of blocking out light. Other than that, not really. So people with light sensitivity have to look fucking everywhere just to be able to live like these poor people. What the fuck? But anyway, that was interesting to learn. And like, if you want to learn more about light sensitivity and about albinism and photophobia and all these other interesting scientific things, then like, just go Google it like I did. I mean, Google isn't the best resource, but it's a place to start. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little ramble theory. If you like it, and if you think you know someone who would like it, like if you know someone who's into comics, or just, I don't know, share it around. Share my weird ramblings with the world. Yeah. Screwy out!